Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to do a refresh. It is officially spring and it is time for us to do a little bit of deep cleaning. Now for some of you that don't know, the soft surfaces in your home like your sofa, your curtains, carpet, area rugs, all of that kind of everything, especially if you have an open floor plan, those things kind of absorb and keep odor. So today we are actually going to take down our curtains. We are going to wash them, iron them, and put them back up to kind of give a refresh. We are also going to clean our couch cushions. So stay tuned. Hope this inspires you to do the same. It's springtime, so let's get it going. So the first thing I did was take the balls off of each of these curtain rods so that I could screw them back on so that I could wash them. It probably took me about 10 minutes to do the first 4 windows. So once I was done, I just kind of screwed those back in, made sure that everything was level. So once I washed them, dried them, got them to the way that I wanted them, they would immediately go right back up without any hesitation. I went ahead and did the second curtain, which took me, like I said, anywhere from 1 to 2 minutes. And I was pretty much done after that. Screwed the ball off, screwed it back in, made sure that the nail that keeps the rod in place was intact so that everything would be easy to put back up. I will say that during this, it was a bit difficult, not so much from taking the curtains off, but just making sure that the rods didn't come down, because obviously I got these from Walmart. They're not on the higher end. I just wanted to make sure that everything was kosher, so to speak. So once those are down and I get those replaced, it's time to wash them. Now, I will say when you are washing your curtains, these are a blend. They iron really easy, but you can't over iron them. They have to be on a low setting. And make sure that you're using a sensitive or a gentle scent-free detergent. Now, you don't necessarily have to use a scent-free detergent, because I do use a little bit of a baking soda and a mixture that I use to wash my laundry with, just so that everything smells good. And I also use fabric softener to kind of keep the fabric soft. But you just want to make sure that when you wash these, that now in my case, because we have really bad allergies, I just kind of kept the water at a warm setting so that it would just kind of emulsify any dirt, anything that was just in the air, pollen from cooking, because we do live in a house that has an open floor plan. So to me, everything that I cooked, everything that just smells I felt like were in the couch cushions and the curtains, which is why on this particular video, I made sure that I removed everything, all the soft materials. Now, at some point, I would love to clean my area rug as well, because of course it's on the floor. And a lot of times, again, like I said, soft surfaces absorb odor. I usually cook something at least every day. There are days that I cook once or twice, so I try to crack a window so that all the food aromas are going outside. I let the screen down on my screen door just so that any smells can kind of leave. But again, it just kind of lingers. Just an FYI, I do use Febreze spray on the sofa, the curtains, and before I vacuum, I do spray my carpet down really good with it, just so that I can make sure that, any odors, everything is just kind of somewhat being absorbed. It didn't take me very long to get these couch cushions off, but again, I wanted to make sure that I got everything off safely, that I didn't tear the zippers, and that I could place everything in its place prior to washing them, and making sure that the cushions were intact as well. Once I did that, I just kind of stacked them up, moved them out of the way. Today, I'm not going to necessarily worry about cleaning the actual cushions that have the stuffing in them. I've done that already, but I'll keep you posted on when I do that. Once the couch cushions are removed, I always like to clean everything out. I have a Shark handheld vacuum. So usually what I do with that is I just kind of go in, vacuum, get all the loose hair, food debris, particles, just anything that kind of settles into the couch that when we sit on it, you would be surprised at everything that's gotten lost. I found hair ties, pieces of popcorn, candy paper that my daughter eats and hides in the cushions. Today wasn't so bad because I try to remove these, rotate them, flip them so that everything stays good, that they basically have like even wear and tear. And for those little strings that are in the cushions, those just kind of came with the sectional. I just kind of left those in there. At some point I'm gonna cut them out, but right now it's just not necessarily a necessity because they're covered up with the cushions. Now, most of the time, and you won't see this in this video, I didn't vacuum the back of the couch sofas, but I had already done that prior to actually filming. This is what it looks like once I'm done. Everything's clean and I'm ready to move on to the next step. A lot of times I'll spray a little bit of Febreze once this step is done, just so that I can kind of help deodorize it and kind of help it smell a little bit better when the windows are open. This particular wedge on my couch is such a pain sometimes because at times it likes to move, especially if we're laying on it. So I always get that adjusted prior to everything else. This is my couch cushions and curtains getting ready to go into the washing machine. This is what my room looks like once everything is removed, curtains, cushions, and we headed to the washing machine. So the first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm washing the cushions first, because I kind of feel like if I do these first, then it's a little bit easier for me to put those back on and have something to sit on. I'm adding the Fabuloso antibacterial liquid. I just put 2 capfuls in the very top where you would put liquid soap. Put a little bit of fabric softener, and I use a little bit of my concoction that has the baking soda in it to deodorize, and a little detergent. This is what the water looked like in the curtains once I put those in after the cushions came out. Now that the cushions are dry, they are ready to go back onto the sofa. I just kind of take those out, fold them a little bit. This step isn't necessary, but I'm just kind of OCD, so I just always make sure that after they come out of the dryer, to reduce any wrinkling, I just set them on top of the basket. That way I can transport them all at one time without them being kind of wrinkled up. This is a blend. I'm sure it has a little bit of polyester in it, so they don't wrinkle as bad, but it's just your preference. After that, of course, I put the curtains in. They are fresh, smelling good, clean, nice, crisp. These are ready to be hung up, but they're gonna take a little bit to dry. After that, of course, they come out. I set them on the washing machine. We gonna hang these up. By this time, it is late. So my daughter's in bed and she had a long, productive day. So this gives me time to put all these cushions back on before I hang my curtains up. It took me a little time, not so long, but I just try to make sure that the seams are level with the cushion, because I don't want them to look lopsided when they're actually on the couch. Sometimes, like my ottoman does, it'll get misaligned and I have to like go in, put my hand in and kind of adjust it. You'll notice that I didn't wash the cushion on the ottoman because I had previously done that. There is another video I'm going to do where I'm going to take my green machine by Bissell and I'm going to clean where we touch the very back of it with our hands a lot. The support is just kind of just around the top of the sectional. I think at this point I was trying to watch TV, but I was just kind of over it on this particular night. It was probably around 8:30, 9 o'clock. So once I pretty much get the cushions on each of these, I just go ahead and make sure that I fluff the pillows that go on the sofa, just so that I can make sure everything's just looking good, everything's lined up. So my cushions are back on. Everything looks amazingly great. As you can see from this, they smell good. I'm so happy. Now it's time to move on to the curtains. So on this section, we are putting up the curtains. Again, I start at the end that I took the curtains off of. And I'm just going to quickly put those on. It probably took me about 15 minutes to put these on because one of the rods had actually came out and fell down. I cut that out of the video, but it was just kind of like the little center part I had to basically readjust on the second curtain on the second side that you see me going up on. But once I did that, everything was good. And then I moved on to my kitchen curtains. Finally, the very last part of putting up these curtains. By this time, after washing them, putting all the curtains up, making sure the rods were even and everything was level, I was pretty much tapped out for the evening. So after I do this, sometimes I'll spray with Febreze, but on this particular day, all I did was spray the backs of my couches with the Febreze, and I sprayed the area rug again before I vacuumed. Sometimes I have in the past used the sprinkle powder stuff that you put on the carpets, but I don't really care for it because we have allergies and it's really strong. And I just really don't like the idea of a powder kind of sitting on the area rug. So we just kind of skipped that step tonight. Once that was done, this is pretty much the finished product. Thank you everybody that tuned in. This is the final product. I pray that you enjoyed this. Like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what you think, what you would do different. How would you hang up your curtains? How do you vacuum? Just let me know in the comments below. Look forward to seeing you next time. Remember to tune in, get your notifications so you'll be updated every time I post a notification.